etc. A lot of emphasis there on a feminist understanding of the borders. You know, and sometimes the students ask this question, like, what is the difference? How can a man and a woman see differently the borders? What is this difference? It's the same thing, you know. Uh, and
Yeah.
I'm very sure that this is a question for many of our viewers as well. Like, what is this? Border is border, same for if you are traveling from a global south, you're a male, you face the same kind of restrictions as there is a woman. So what's such a big deal about this? So can you explain it?
Yes, there are two levels, actually, two ways to answer to answer your questions, which is very interesting. And actually, we were discussing that yesterday with my students. So um, it is first of all, as a woman, and I see that even as a researcher, when I am at a border, being a woman means that I will be addressed differently. And in some cases, I could say that it's empowering because I'm as a female researcher, as a mother. I remember going to the border with my baby. There were many things, many places where I was not seen as a threat. So it has been an asset sometimes. On the other hand, we've interviewed a lot of migrants, women who knew that they would be like it wasn't a question of if, but when they were going to be sexually assaulted on their way from Central America to the U.S. border, and women do take a toll in different ways. They often carry their kids around. Uh, Men do too, and I'm not saying they're not, but sometimes it changes the relations in the migration. That's one thing as a person. But feminist approaches of border studies are a tad different in a way. What we're looking at is intersectionality. So how you may, let's say, your color, your appearances, your visa, your passport, your documents, all of this can coagulate to make you stronger or more vulnerable as you go through the border. Intersectionality is a concept that comes from Black feminism, where Black women, that's those who started the thinking, were saying that being Black, being a woman, maybe being having another sexual orientation or what have you, would not only accumulate but inflate as they were adding. So um, from that, feminist perspectives are looking into bodies. How do you carry the border in your body? But it also connects with indigenous studies where they say that it's not the border that crossed us. We didn't cross the border; it's the border that crossed us. And actually, we still carry the border in our bodies. Somebody of color in the U.S. today is a border by him or herself because it will be a target from ICE, the police that is now arresting and deporting. So feminist perspectives are looking into bodies specifically, and it was one of the starting point of critical border studies. So looking at how individualized, pixelized became the border as we were powering through the 21st century. COVID was, a matter that was super useful when we were looking at feminist perspective because suddenly you being vaccinated or not vaccinated, being young or old, etc., you were able or not to cross a border because you could show that your body was actually clear of or prone of viruses. And that per se, that reading of your body as a border is a feminist approach. So when we say feminist perspective on the border, it can be, yes, about how a man and a woman may cross borders differently, but it's also a methodology, even more than looking into women.